Hello, hello, welcome to the Captain's Corner. It has been a hot minute, but we are back. I'm your host, Matthew Harris. Joining me today is Blair Curtin and Kane Chapman. Kenny, how are we, boys?
Yeah, pretty solid, Matty. It's as you say, it's been a while since last time I was in the studio with you, but it's an absolute pleasure to be back in here again. And oh boy, what an episode do we have?
Yeah, just a bit of tea to spill. How are we, Kane? You seem pretty quiet.
I was just letting you speak for now until I got to chime in, but no, it's good to be back. We are down one for the time being. He may or may not later, but we got quite a show to go.
That's it. Hey, just it's good to be back. Just a couple of bros talking some footy, talking some drama. Um, should we get straight into the drama? You reckon, or there's not much else to
Well,
really talk about right now.
there isn't really. We definitely didn't set this episode up with the footy in mind, so let's get to the drama.
That's it. All right. Well, I believe you got some slides to show us. You're going to take the lead, Blair,
Yep,
and we'll
and
just run off
would
you.
you like to bring up the first slide then, Matty?
All right. Let's bring it
New
up.
new to the Captain's Corner visual aids.
Holy fuck! He's learning. Wait till I start getting
All
videos
right.
in this shit.
Fuck, I don't know if I can wait that long, Matt.
What?
I said I don't know if I can wait that long, Matt.
Yeah, you're already old enough.
Anyway,
Anyways, you wanna get to what we're looking on the screen right now? We got the Broncos 42 over the Dolphins 6, the first game of season 2 of the SRL. Can you run us
and
through
yeah,
why this is here?
yeah. So what we've got there is a scorecard. It's dropping at about 7 p.m. and then a little bit over, or a little bit under, I should say, 2 hours later. If you'd like to roll us through to the next slide, please. We've got some changes.
Yeah, I
Uh,
remember seeing this one when it first dropped. I was like, oh damn.
Yeah, no, quite shocking. Jack removed from Broncos captaincy. I think it's fair to say that the entire Broncos sheds were up in arms about it, which is, perhaps a little bit different to what we've seen from some previous captaincy removals. Uh, and yeah, so there certainly were some allegations thrown the other way. Uh, it's probably a little bit hard to tell precisely what happened. I've had staff make accusations of doctored screenshots. I've also had one staff member in particular singled out as being a bit of a problem. And, that's a staff member who's perhaps just that petty. Uh, it's not entirely unexpected that things kicked off. But I think it's the first time we've seen things go this far. Because where did this end up? This ended up with a brand new league created, and much like real life rugby league, our simulated version finds itself in a bit of a two-stripe situation, Matt.
That's it, like the old Super League war.
Yeah, and I mean, some of the response from staff has been a little bit shocking. Uh, some of the R360 jokes, though, as the VPRL season approaches, I noticed those have slowed up a bit.
You know why it slowed up? Because this league actually exists.
I mean, that probably does help.
Yeah,
Uh, so if you want to roll us through to the next slide, we then got that fucking league alert.
that's
And
it.
I think this really sort of pushes into, shall we say, the pettiness of the situation. Uh, I definitely was not expecting that level of individual call out.
Absolutely. I looked at it. I'm like, well, this is a fight.
Yeah, and I mean, let's face it, there's been an orange wall of silence for a long time.
Yeah,
SRL
absolutely.
staff will have each other's backs. They will not look into each other. you know, that sort of covering is the sort of thing that will long term drive a certain degree of resentment. But just on this, there was one thing aside from the personal sledges that I do want to point out, and it's down at the bottom there. It's that line: if everyone gets a plus 50, no one gets a plus 50. And like, don't get me wrong, it's a fucking great one-liner from Will.
I agree,
It's not
but
actually true.
it's not. Because like you get a plus 50, but you can put it in different stats. There's still ways to change. It's actually one of the only ways to make your player individual.
And I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, it was a cynical play from the VPRL.
Oh, absolutely.
It was clearly a move to cut the SRL's lunch. It has had a degree of success. Last I checked, there was just shy of 40 players, I think, who've taken that up.
Myself and Kane included.
Yeah, I haven't taken that up. But also, like, one thing we should draw attention to is just how big it's got. Last I checked, it was about 116 players.
And what? Well, you got that in what? A month? Has it been a month?
About that.
Yeah. So pretty fast growth rate without even a game being played.
Well, the biggest the SBL, for example, ever got, the cricket one, was about 80 players after a couple of seasons.
Yeah, that was a tough watch, that one. I tried watching that. I couldn't.
The SBL? No, I liked it. It was good times.
You were a captain,
Also,
you were my captain.
I was.
Yes.
Come on, you have a bowling average of 0.
Oh yeah, didn't I just have? I had one bloody over, and I got like 2 wickets or some shit, didn't
I? No, you got one. You had one ball. It was for Ireland, if I remember right, and
one ball and a wicket.
Keeper. Yeah, you were a keeper, and I'm looking at it like, this is completely cooked. Ireland are absolutely fucked now, and I think your player threw the absolute hottest of pies, and it jagged a wicket. And I think I fell off my fucking chair laughing, because that was a fucking hilarious moment.
I'd just be like that sometimes, you know.
You know, and to be clear, there have been accusations put the other way as well. You know, you can see there Will's talking about ultimatums and underhanded tactics. I don't know either way about ultimatums, but I do think that, yeah, offering plus 50s to players to switch and stay switched is, yeah, it's cynical. I don't know if I'd call it underhanded.
Like, I just think it's more of a way to build hype for their own league, because at the end of the day, you do have to look out for your own game as well. And it is just an incentive to come over and like, here's a boost if you want to get a head start to it.
Incentive.
I mean, everyone's saying like getting a boost. The SRL used to have a boost too. Used to pay to upgrade as well.
Literally paid upgrades. The coin system is fine for the most part.
I like the coin system. I have to admit, I think the SRL have got it right with the coin system.
Yeah, no, that is very solid. The SRL does have a right with the coin system.
But yeah, no, bloody. I'm like, I want to say I'm on the fence and I'm on no one's side. Like, in terms of actually fighting, I'm not involved in fights. My feelings are based on my own personal experiences. I chose to leave and like retire my player because I wasn't getting any opportunities to progress. Like respectfully, I was blocked from going back into leadership, which is what I wanted to do. I only stepped down from leadership because I wasn't able to do it with my lifestyle, work, all that involved. And then just not being given the opportunity to even prove myself, be allowed to prove myself, and just be given a hard no. that's what really drove me. As soon as that other league became an option, I'm just like, yeah, nah, this is going to be where I go. This is going to be my main league.
That's the exact reason why I ended up leaving as well, for that exact same reason. Like
Um,
every road I took, there was just a roadblock for me to progress back into the spot because I did the same thing. I had to drop my leadership because I was working too much and stuff. And now I've had free time. I've been trying and trying and trying and just keep getting blocked at every turn.
like shit, we got enough free time to bloody do a podcast. So like, come on, guys.
Yeah, times have changed.
But hey, I got leadership now. I'm happy. Thank you for that, Kalari.
I mean, if you are going to reference my
Oh, we
other
have
player, then
we have to.
you can pronounce the name right.
No. I told you I'm calling him Kalari, and that's what we're doing. It's Kalari Berton. Um, but yeah, no, just I feel like all parties involved probably could have handled it better. But
I
like,
mean, we'll dig into this a bit later, but yeah, there was some pretty shocking diplomacy shown.
what do you mean diplomacy? We've always known that the SRL's a dictatorship.
Yeah,
You're either with the friend group, the admins, or you're against. And if you're against, you get nothing.
let me put it this way. In my own free time, moderate a community much larger than either of these, right?
Yeah.
Several hundred times to over 1,000 times. And any internet forum is an inherently dictatorial environment. There is someone who is in charge, and they just make the calls that they see themselves as needing to make. That's not something I'm actually going to criticize either of the leagues for, because that is just the nature of any internet forum environment. I actually considered making a slide about a sort of, excuse me, SRLPA, VPRLPA type organization. But, I'm on record speaking elsewhere. I think that any such organization is completely pointless. Why does the real life RLPA work?
Yeah, I don't know, man. Just it's not
because
like
it's functionally a trade union for rugby league players, right?
Yeah.
They are people with a skill set and a profile that makes them marketable commodities of value in their own right. And they have that marketable value in their own right gives them a collective bargaining power. And the RLPA is the expression of that collective bargaining power.
Whereas in this, it's literally just a simulation. At the end of the day, we don't have any bargaining power to go through.
No, and if you want to change something, then you just need to go elsewhere, and that's what's happened here. And I think it might be a bit of a slap in the face just how many people have walked out. It's nearly half of the SRL player base is now at least involved with the VPRL to some capacity. Of course, a relatively small portion of that have made the decision to go for good. I don't think I'm telling tales out of class at this point to say that the SRL is absolutely aiming up to do some lunch cutting back by allowing players to retire their name in the SRL but keep their SRL player stats under a new name.
See, personally, I would have liked it if that was an option when I retired, but I'm not going to go back and be like, oh no, that's not fair. I've made my bed. I'm going to sleep in it, and I'm happy with my new player. Albeit he's like a 61 rated player, but he's going to kill it. Go Chevy.
Well, we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, go Chevy.
But yeah, so when I say things like diplomacy, I definitely do mean that management, though, of the public-facing scene. And I think it's fair to say that SRL staff have performed pretty poorly there. It was the April Fool's joke. I think it came over in pretty poor taste to a few people.
I didn't see
In
that.
fact,
It was an April Fool's joke.
sorry?
If there was an April Fool's,
there was.
what
Yeah,
was
there
it?
It wasn't
was.
very funny.
What was it? I want to know. Why isn't this in the
But
slide?
if you want to roll through to the next slide, please.
Is it there?
I forgot to grab it. It's not. Rolls to the next slide, though.
Yeah, I just did.
As we hit some more of the fallout, there were two other things from Will's post that I wanted to draw attention to. There has been some changes in how the league structures staff members. It looks like there's been a sort of split between what they call administrative staff and sort of more content creative staff, and they seem to have different colours now. Hilariously, though, the administrative staff are now teal, a shade of blue. So the orange wall of silence has become a literal blue wall of silence.
Jesus.
Thought that was pretty entertaining under the circumstances. We have not seen an announcement regarding that, though. So it'll be interesting to see what the league ends up doing or not doing there. And I don't know, with the Wool saying he's not staff, yeah, that's strictly speaking correct. But I think it's also arguable there's a bit more to it than that.
Yeah, like he's definitely staff. There's no way around
De facto,
that.
if not de jure.
Yeah.
If you're the bloke with the keys to the server.
Like he can make the call just to close the server at any point if he wanted to.
Yeah, absolutely. So, he does have that sort of ultimate power in the end, even
The
if
person
it's not.
didn't Logan Strange, the person that made the SRL, he tried to come back and he tried to go into the leadership, but the current leadership didn't allow it.
I mean, I can respect that.
I mean, if you were president and the former president comes in and is like, hey man, I want to take my job back, you're gonna look at him and you're like, hey mate, you're fucked. No, that's my job now. That's fair enough. That's fair enough.
Yeah, but wouldn't you at least allow him in behind closed doors to have a look at the leadership and everything and be involved with that? He created the damn thing.
I get the impression at least that was not an acceptable outcome for Logan. I don't know 100% either way. All I've got on that is a little statement. But
He wanted to take over completely. It looked like he wanted to take over completely.
If he did want to take over completely, then I understand why the decision happened.
Yeah, like if you go back to Will's statement, bloody wherever it is, I'm gonna fucking find it.
Previous slide. But,
yeah. I'm there.
yeah,
I'm there.
so-
Yeah, the second last bloody bit. Logan Strange reached out and attempted to negotiate what could only be described as a complete takeover, without giving any information as to how the league will be run under his guidance. If that's true, you have to turn that down.
Big if
Actually
true.
didn't. That's my bad. I actually didn't see that bit.
Yeah, but what Blair said, completely true. That's if it's true, because all of this is hearsay. We don't know what's happening behind closed doors. We only have the information that's given to us. This is all public information that I've got up on the screen.
And SRL staff have been very consistent on the fake news line. But at the same time, I also know that SRL staff, up to and including Will, have been happy to misrepresent and I won't say outright lie, but certainly creatively admit things. And so, with the creation of the new league, we of course have had the loss of the Broncos.
Yeah.
They were top 4 contenders at the very least. I'm pretty sure they were rivaling us at the Raiders for one of the top spots. And all gone now.
I mean, one plus side to them leaving is like, Manly got an extra 2 points, eh? Hey, Kane.
Shut up. We won tonight.
Did yous?
Yeah.
Oh shit! Well done.
Yeah.
I should really start watching games again, hey?
Well, you're gonna have
It'd
a
be a
lot
good
more
start.
choice in what you're gonna watch, won't you?
That's it. I'm gonna have so much footy to watch. It's gonna be good. But yeah, no, Broncos getting the sack. What was that? I think it was 7 or 8 players from the team all retired, like became marquee.
I think it ended up being 10.
Oh shit. Yeah, you can't. Like,
Just
even if you had enough reserve players to come in, you just 10, 60 rated, 61 rated players jumping in for
it'd be
this.
SRL versus Mines.
Exactly. Yeah. So I respect the decision just to disband it and then be like, all right, the remaining players can go off to other clubs that are also losing players. Because it wasn't just the Broncos that lost players. Like, I mean, Manly lost 3 or 4.
It could have been a lot worse than Manly too.
Oh, it could have been. Like, if bloody KCK bloody what did you become marquee? Yeah.
Yes, I became lucky.
But you haven't left just yet.
No.
Yeah. But only time will tell what happens there. Anyways,
Had
bloody
the good ones flipped.
Goodwin's. I think the Goodwins are going to come in, but I don't think they're going to be marquee.
No, they're not.
Let's be real though. If we wanted to screw the league over more, me and Matt are quite close, especially me with the Goodwins. It probably wouldn't be too hard to convince them.
Yeah, like me.
We've still got a lot of friends over there.
The only people I brought over and convinced to be marquees and all that was my 2 IRL friends in Punchy and Eva.
And to be honest, I've stayed neutral with bringing anyone over because, well, I'm on the fence with everything.
Yeah, well, you know, bloody Daniel, he backs us through and through. Aoife's more just bloody Aoife.
Where the boys are, I'll go. That's what he's like.
Pretty much, he doesn't really give a fuck.
Yeah.
Not
to mention, there is a lot we've actually brought into the SRL that are still a part of the SRL.
Yeah. Also, I am gonna address a minor elephant in the room. Aoife is a goddamn real person. I had to explain myself like 15 times while like half asleep to one of the staff members, and he didn't believe me. And I didn't get in trouble because they didn't have evidence to prove he was fake.
Nick's fake.
They think he's fake because what happened is bloody Nick was at my house.
Yeah.
When he was creating the player, so we just did it on my phone. So they got my IP address and said his account was like his player was made from your IP address, so you're the same person. Like, fuck.
I don't think Google gives you that information.
I don't know how they got my IP address. If they've like found it in nefarious ways, that's a breach of privacy and messed up. But it is what it is. I digress. Doesn't even matter anymore because he's not in the SRL anymore.
The funniest part was, like, the funniest thing about you saying that is I quite literally was on an Xbox party with Nick last night talking shit to him.
Yeah, same here.
Funny. But then again, they thought Kyle was an old too.
And he's just the same deal. We know him on Xbox. He just doesn't live around the corner from my house.
Well,
He lives
we know him in real
Perth.
life too.
Yeah, he just lives in Perth.
He's flown over on more than one occasion to hang out with us. And you have flown over there. So.
Yeah.
Oh, he's from Perth or something, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
he lives in Perth.
Carl Lewis was, yeah.
Okay.
But man, we've been friends on Xbox for bloody years and years. But yeah, he's flown over to Sydney and stuff to hang out with us, and vice versa.
Like just because
You
they're
went to
not an
Perth?
active talk. Yeah, I did. I went there for the elimination chamber, the wrestling.
Didn't you meet Luke Short there?
No, I met Oli Pache.
Oh, Luke Harche.
But yeah, nah, bloody. That's one thing I want to say. Just because they're not active in the chat and they don't really talk much, doesn't mean they're not real people. Some people don't like to communicate. Like Daniel, he's a special cat. Let's just say that.
He doesn't talk to anyone.
He can barely talk to me. Like literally, I've been friends with him for since 2012. But it wasn't until like probably 2013, 2014 he'd even like leave his house when we hung out. Like he was too scared to go and hang out properly, or go down in the park and play footy. He's that sheltered. He's a sheltered
That's
boy.
weird.
He's a very sheltered boy.
He's also very introverted.
That's what I said. I just said sheltered
Yeah.
instead.
I know, but I was using a better word to describe it than sheltered.
Yeah. I hope he watches this.
Anyways, back to the slide
I,
before we
I,
continue this.
no, I just quickly want to say,
absolutely.
I hope he sees this. Fuck you, Daniel. Alright, go. Let's go to the slide.
Let's hit the slides. What slide are you on?
I am on the one that has league features with the Broncos. Okay.
Yeah, okay. So, and one thing I noticed, well, a lot of people will notice now is, of course, SRL did create their server tag. That does seem to have been in response to VPRL doing the same. So, and don't get me wrong, all's fair in love and war from the SRL's perspective, but they definitely have been on the back foot a little bit. Let's roll through to the next slide and sort of
wait.
see some of what I mean.
Before we swap over, should we just like mention the incorrect spelling of Premier?
Oh yeah, I boxed that for a reason. Yes, it is the incorrect spelling of Premier.
Hey, and that's enough. We're grammar. Yeah. Let's move on. I almost fucked up, boys. I almost fucked up. We didn't. Let's carry on. Alright, let's go,
So,
Blair. Run us through.
On the subject of diplomacy, one of the things that we've really seen is that a lot of individual players were screwed over. Only about half the Broncos, a little over half the Broncos jumped. That gentleman Turnip used to be Nathan O'Donnell. I think he's been in the league since about season 2 of SRL 1.0.
I think it might have been season 1. I think he's one of the first few wins.
Oh shit! So he was one of the. Oh.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Nathan was one of the OGs.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, he's not anymore.
Yep, true.
Yeah, the O stands for out. The G stands for
and-
gone.
Yeah, this is.
Sorry, it was bad. Yeah, continue.
Yeah, no, that was dad joke out of 10. So you've got a situation where the league's alienated some of its strongest players. JLU as well has walked. The SRL has lost its NRL association. And to give you an idea, out of the current staff, at the very least, Max, Nico, and Borsons all came through the RNRL pathway. So that's a huge recruitment tool for the league gone.
Yeah, and I've no comments to make about those people.
Probably better.
Yeah.
Under the circumstances.
Yeah, under the circumstances, it's better not.
And so the other thing that the SRL's been trying to do is put in some hype, get people to rep the league with the SRL tag on the Discord name. And at the moment, they're doing a coins promo for that very thing. Let's roll through to the next slide though, because can you see what I put down in the bottom right corner there? I don't know how well that's going to show up on the slide. But that is, when sorting by popular, the highest rated or the most watched SRL 2.0 game. I believe it was the very first one. Pretty sure SRL 2.1 led off with Brewster South.
And they're seeing how bad the gameplay was, and they're like, oh no.
Yeah, and gameplay has been on a bit of an improvement, thankfully. It is the 30th most watched game and the 32nd overall most popular video behind the two current winners as well. Maybe 29th if you want to count the Newcastle Mines. It's a promo rather than a game, but to give you an idea, you look right above, there are actually two Wines games from SRL 1.0 ranked above the most watched SRL 2.0 game.
That's kind of funny.
Gentlemen, I know I ran through it for a little bit, but are you two particularly familiar with a SWOT analysis?
I had a little sticky beak at it last night, so from what I've read, I'm familiar with these ones.
And well, that's a good start.
Yeah, about the same. I'm pretty okay with it, but
he can't read black words on white writing, like on white paper. Sorry,
that's not true.
You're dyslexic, bro. It screws you up.
I struggle with it.
Yeah.
I mean, hopefully we can sort of bury into this a bit and get a bit of what's the word? Bit of conversation going about it. You want to roll us through to the SWOT analysis for the SRL-matic?
I got this in front of me, so I can actually read. We got strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, threats. The strengths for the SRL is the incumbency. It was the first one there. It uses actual NRL teams, which does draw in a lot of people. And the existing player base mostly remains. There's still like 200 people or whatever it is in there. Weaknesses.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, weaknesses quickly before, and we'll do them two together, and then we'll move to the others. Weaknesses. We got staff attitude. Yeah, that's a glaring weakness if you ask me. Institutional arrogance. Holy, yeah, agree with that 100%. Stagnation. Yes, it has felt bland and just kind of repetitive recently. And yes, they lost a team. Like the Broncos are gone. It's not really a pathway to replacement because they just don't have anyone coming in. They're just losing players right now. But yeah, your thoughts on that, Blair?
Let's drill into the strengths. Yeah, I did write it. I had that drilled into me a little too hard in uni and in my undergrad year, I think. So strengths. Incumbency. Never underestimate the power of being the established player. In the actual Super League war, there is very much a reason why it was mostly the ARL teams who stayed, or teams that had previously been in the ARL who stayed throughout the merge competition. Using NRL teams, it's instant brand recognition. Everyone knows who Souths are. Everyone knows who the Roosters are. Everyone knows Up the Wars. They have this level of brand recognition, and we'll get into this in the next slide as well.
Yeah, I don't like how you said Souths first there, mate. You got some questions to answer after this podcast?
At least he said your team.
They are the single most recognised. That green and red is the single most recognised sporting strip in the country.
I plead the fifth. I do not care to admit to that.
You cannot have any sports event in the country without random South guy showing up.
What do you mean in the country? It happens overseas too.
True.
Hey, I seen a random Roosters fan at WrestleMania one time. That was good.
Was you in the mirror?
No. I don't fit in my Roosters jerseys no more.
No. I fit in it.
Yeah. I'm joking, by the way. I do. I just fucking wear t-shirts.
And as we're talking with the users NRL team, and it also helped give you that like connection to a club immediately that you want to play from, you want to represent them, you want to do good, compared to a custom team that's not real.
Unless you make it yourself, and then that kind of brings an attachment, eh, bro?
I mean, yeah, to bring in the attachment for the person that created it, but whereas like for Manly, for me in the SR, I always have an attachment to it because I'm a Manly fan. I'm always just like, I want to see them do good, even when I'm not playing for them. I want to see them do good.
Oh yeah, that's me with the Roosters. As much as I've had my run-ins with the captains, vice captains.
Didn't you leave the Roosters though?
Yeah, because friendship or acquaintanceship um, means more than a simulation league. Sometimes, I knew I was on the way out. I was like my last season. I wanted to play a few games with the bro.
It's all good. Anyway, let's continue.
Yeah, so drilling into that a bit further, the existing player base does mostly remain. Yes, around what 35, 40% of the league did jump, but only about 15, 20% actually made the move to go down that marking pathway. And so I think a lot of people are just having a bit of an each way bet. Most people are just having fun with the leagues. And I don't think there's going to be a really hard commitment from a lot of players until the VPRL proves itself as something distinct and something inherently compelling. People aren't going to jump ship without a bloody good reason to do so.
I agree. Probably talk more about the VPRL in their slide. We should probably move into the weaknesses, which I've already had my say when I was reading them through. But yeah, what's your take on the weaknesses?
Well, fairly similar to yours, I got to say. Staff attitude and institutional arrogance are pretty closely related. As an institution, they very much did not take the VPRL seriously early on, and I think to an extent they have paid for that. I think that their attitude did turn quite a few people off. It's far from just Broncos who went down that marking pathway. So, most of us in the league have had at least one interaction with staff where Gilly's accusations really do ring true a bit.
Yeah, they really do.
Stagnation, that goes back to that previous slide. The view numbers have been falling. League hasn't expanded in 3 seasons now. Yes, there is a tick over at replacement rate, but it is only replacement. There is not a clear pathway to growth for the league. If you wanted to bring in Dragons, could you actually field a 17 for them, even without 40-odd players deciding to jump ship for good, or at least to give them value of good? One thing that I have regularly said is that I don't know if VPRL can kill the SRL, but it can make it bleed. I think, pushing the league into culling a team, that's a huge step. The only precedence for that is maybe Storm in season 1 of SRL 1.0.
Yeah, but they didn't get cut. They got replaced. It wasn't like they lost the team. They just changed them to the Raiders.
But I mean, it was also, still would have been with a different lineup because none of them were fucking upgrading, right?
Yeah, I believe so. Some moved on,
I mean, before my time.
yeah, no, some moved on. Like I think the key one I remember was Sam Herban. He come to
in season 2.
but he come to Manly, but then he stopped upgrading for us too, which was fun. I think that's a common theme with him. He's done that with many clubs.
So was Malachi Booth.
Hey, it didn't affect us. We won.
Yeah, beat the Rabbitohs.
Oh my god, Malachi Booth. Or should I say, Velvet Thunder. That brings me back.
That's going back.
Holy shit. Any of the boys that were in the Manly bloody voice chats back then? Holy fuck. You're welcome for that nostalgia hit.
That was his nickname in the sheds.
That's it. Too many long range tries, that beautiful fucking thing. But yeah, no, bloody onto the opportunities in the frets. Improving gameplay, pivot moment, frets, first time facing competition, loss of the R/NRL association in the brain drain. That one's hard to say for me. It hurts my brain. Improving gameplay. I've spoke to you in text as well about this play. I've spoke to you as well, Kane. I've made my thoughts on the gameplay and how to improve it. Obviously, the sliders themselves the sliders. I haven't tweaked with them too much. It's more or less the switches. If you let my biggest gripe when I'm watching SRL 2.0, especially season 2, is just almost every tackle is a big hit. And I know in round 1, because all the big hits were making the loose balls, they had to change that so there was no drop balls anymore. But if you want to fix big hits, just bring that back to only props doing it. Then you're not going to have shots every 10, every single tackle, everyone losing the ball. You put the lost balls back on, so if the props do get a hold of you, they're going to hit you, you might lose it. But if you're going out wide, you're not going to get shot. You're going to get shot off the ball and the ball goes flying out the sideline like you see 10 times a bloody game in the SRL now. But you leave fens and sidesteps and all that stuff, so you still have a nice expansive attacking footy as well. But obviously, if you run out of stamina, you're going to lose that ability. You're going to throw some bad passes, which is real to NRL as well. So that's my thoughts on improving gameplay.
If memory serves, I think that if you do turn the big hit slider up at all, even if you try and keep it just on props, it will basically make everyone big hit, no matter sort of what key you make there.
No, well, that's what I'm talking about. It's you have the slider for the what's the word? The consistency, how many times it's going to happen, and how many times the loose ball is going to go. I've seen those sliders, but then there's just a switch that says only front rows or only forwards can big hit.
Okay.
You can unswitch that, and that's what allows wingers to do big hits and all that stuff. But if you switch it on, the wingers don't do the big hits anymore.
When you say forward, referring to just props or second rows and locks as well?
I believe it's just props. It's back to how bloody Rugby League Live 4 was.
Okay.
Which, even in Live 4, it happened a decent amount of times, but it happened a good amount of times where it's not too many, but when one happened, you're like, oh damn, you ran to the wrong spot, buddy.
And you know how many big hits there are. It kind of loses that feeling, that impact feeling when it happens.
Yeah,
because you're seeing it every set constantly.
There's multiple times you see one guy get hit, lose the ball, then the guy that picked it up just gets hit and loses the ball as well. It's just fucking hell. Bloody.
It also goes poorly with the pension that has come over from Rugby League Live 4 as well, for players to just be hit off the ball if the ball is going to them.
Yeah, that's what I was saying about the wingers getting shot off the ball and the ball flying out the sideline. You see that so often. Like I remember like my player doing it to a few people. I'm just like, I feel like a scumbag, and I'm not even the one that's actually doing it. Okay.
Yeah. I just sent you a message, by the way, Matt, so thanks.
Okay, yeah, didn't see that. Okay. Kane's got to take a league. Just he'll be back.
Alright.
Yeah, he'll be back. He's
Oh,
he's gonna
we
hate.
won't notice much difference.
He's gonna hate that I mentioned it, but I made sure to mention it just to fuck with him. There's a reason he texted me that. But yeah, you want to run through this because you're gonna have a better say than me in this.
Well, yeah, it is also. I mean, the improving gameplay. I haven't made it a secret that I do like the season 2 gameplay a lot better than season 1. Things actually happened, and yeah, you do have the game locked down for extended periods, then a flurry of points, but that also seems to be fairly accurate to real life rugby league currently. But I do hope that sincerely that this is a pivot moment for the SRL. I do hope that staff take a bit of a look at themselves in the mirror, and I do hope that some of this institutional arrogance gets addressed.
Mm.
And I do genuinely hope that does do something about the stagnation. Into the threats, first time facing competition.
I'd like to.
This isn't.
Sorry to cut you off. I do want to say, first time facing competition. You put it under the threats, but that could very much be in opportunities as well. Because
it's a threat. It's all downside for the SRL.
That's if they continue with their attitude. If they like normally competition, if you have no competition, you do whatever you want. It's like, what are they going to do? They've got no other options. And they did that to the point where people said, no, let's go make another option. And now that's happening. But now that there is actually competition, it might be the key. I'm seeing it both ways. It's definitely a threat, but it's an opportunity as well. It's a kick up their butt side, their ass, or whatever. I didn't fucking say that, right? It doesn't matter. It might be the kick up the ass they need to like make the SRL better, because competition normally brings both up.
Yeah,
but if one, but if one fucks up and can't live up to that, then they die. That's just what happens with that. So that's the threat, is the SRL can potentially just bloody fizzle out, and that could also happen to the VPRL. They're just starting. If they don't get the ball rolling and start off well, we can fizzle out quickly. But if
it's like WWE versus WCW, basically.
Yeah, but like if both that's it. But like if both rise to the occasion, you get two really good products, then that's just good for everybody. That's good viewers for everybody. Like me, I got to play in both. It's
necessarily good for the SRL because, and here's what I'm trying to get at, is now this genie's out of the bottle, it now has competition for screen time. I don't think people are going to watch, what would it be, 7 SRL games and another 3 VPRL on top of that. They're going to be competing for that screen time, that attention, and, that's where the threat lies. They have to compete now. And as the established player, that is all downside for the SRL. It's an opportunity for the VPRL, which I probably should have listed over there, but I didn't, that it is all downside for the SRL. It needs to compete. It needs to start justifying itself better, because incumbency in using NRL teams will only take it so far.
I will like to say it is upside for the players, because the players that do have a player in both comps. Like myself. Yeah, 100%. I'm saying it for the players, as I am the player. I like that there's 2 now, because I got my main guy over in the VPRL. I made a new one for the SRL. I've got 2 players to watch now. I was like, this is going to be super disrespectful, but I would say it anyway because it's fucking funny. There's like VPRL is like my NRL and the SRL is my reserve grade. I got my younger boy, Chevy Winchester. He's going to be there. I'm going to fucking watch every one of his games. And then I got my main guy as well. Um, Obviously, they're not a fucking reserve grade, but I'm going to treat it as such because it's fucking hilarious. But I just like that there's more footy to watch where I'm invested in.
Yeah.
Obviously, we're back when I had the potty and I had time. I watched every single SRL game because I was covering all the games. Um, Likely in the future, more likely once my player is involved again, we'll cover more games of the SRL. And I'll watch more. But up until that point, I'm mainly going to cover the stuff I'm more invested in. And obviously, we still talk about it. It's footy. We love footy. But yeah, nah. We'll go back onto the threads because I've kind of gone on a little bit of a tangent here, a little TED talk. Um, that loss of R/NRL Association, that is a big one because that did bring in a lot of new players.
It brought in a lot of new blood, and if RNRL flips to VPRL fully, then and runs some promotions, then it's going to drive a lot of growth in VPRL space, and SRL just will not be able to compete there. That probably really depends on JLU. I think there was a lot of institutional arrogance and display in how he was treated. He was really treated like shit by staff at the end there.
I seen what happened with that, and that was disgusting behaviour.
So as long as that's going on, then you've just lost one of really the SRL's strongest advocates. I'm only in SRL because of Jailer. He brought at least 3 current staff members off the top of my head to the comp. Losing the RNRL Association is going to end up, I think, probably the thing that hurts the SRL the most. And just brain drain generally. It's a bit of a cliche term at this point, but when you look at the caliber of the players who've generally gone over to VPRL, there's a lot of leaders there. There's a lot of club leadership. There's a lot of people who are pissed at staff, and they're responding to that by throwing the effort into VPRL. So now the SRL's in a situation where a lot of its strongest minds, a lot of the guys who are pushing the league forward are now splitting their attention as well. And that, I think, is going to hurt, especially if that RNRL Association can be leveraged to drive growth in the VPRL. You want to roll us on to our last slide, Matty?
Yeah, nice little segue. I'll run through it again. Strengths, leadership, new start, brains trust. Leadership, 100%. A lot of the leaders that were in the SRL have moved over. From my experience, Sonny is being a good leader. Like, he's clear. There's a path. There's plans. We know what's going on. The new start. I mentioned it before when I was talking from the player's perspective. It is a new comp to bloody come into, and that is exciting. I don't care if it's NRL teams or not. It's exciting to have a new comp. I will run to you for the brains trust because I want to know what exactly you mean by it.
Well, I mean, you kind of hit the nail a little bit without realising then.
Yeah.
It was the calibre of sort of who they've got over, and they do get to, crib some of the players in the SRL who really were looking to push the game forward. So, the brains trust, the knowledge base, the people who understand the game, that's where the meta's going to build from. Moving on to weaknesses, unclear product differentiation, I think, is a big one.
Yeah, like we don't know if it's going to be the same gameplay. They're going to change it up.
That too. Earlier, I was talking about how internet forums are inherently dictatorial spaces. So, while yes, there is different leadership, it's not clear that they'll necessarily be all that different when the time comes. Certainly, we all hope so, but that is a thing. And as a rebel league, as the league that doesn't have the established NRL teams, it needs to justify its existence a lot more than the SRL does. Unless there is a compelling reason to jump, people aren't going to do it. And that's why you've got this huge proportion, the majority of players you've come across, they haven't gone that marquee route.
So I think
if they open up that marquee route again, say at the end of season 2, if things are going well, then I think they'll get a lot more jump. But also, I actually see the plus 50s themselves as a bit of a weakness. Yeah, it drove up a bit of hype early on, but they've had their sugar hit from that now. Now they need to get into the graft of attracting outside players or outside people to drive that next growth phase of the league. And I just wonder if offering plus 50s to players of another league first might come back to bite them in the arse a bit. And I think also it just sort of inherently admits a sort of primacy of the SRL. The SRL calls itself the Premier League. Well, if they need to offer plus 50s to drag people over from the SRL, then that really just plays into that SRL narrative, right?
It does. But at the same time, I'm not going to say no to a plus 50. Like, yes, please.
Yeah. I did say that. So,
what I reckon they could do, like with season 2, and I've half mentioned it now, but I won't talk about it here fully, but like maybe an incentive for people coming over in the future is having the ability to like change up your position. Like if you pick one, you can let's say your tertiary position, you swap that around. So there's a bit of incentive, like hey, you can create. No, this is just me spitballing. I haven't really thought about the idea too much, but that's just one thing. The plus 50s is kind of be tough to do anymore. You can still do it. It's not going to hit the same because if you do a plus 50 at the end of season 2, you might catch up to the non plus 50s from season 1.
Yeah, I mean that's still a big jump though.
It is. You still have it, 100%. I'll still try to get some IRL friends more. But hey, you like footy? Come do this. This is fun. Come over. Help one of the Sydney teams. Cough cough. Caca.
And of course, not having the NRL teams just means inherent lower brand recognition. They are starting off that new base, whereas SRL, as Will said, they've been kicking around for 5.5 years at this point. So that absolutely gives them.
Has it been that long?
Yeah. It's been October 2020.
Fucking
5.5 years. Yeah, wild, isn't it?
That's pretty much how long I've known Kane for. I met you like I think I met Kane like a few months before the SRL. Kane's the one that's like, hey, you should join this thing.
Yeah, I met Matt in a footy game competition,
Yeah,
and he accidentally spoke because he got angry, and that's how we started talking and became friends. And then I think
then you got mad because I kept calling you Kanye.
Yeah, and 2 or 3 months later, I seen the SRL on YouTube. It was the season started. They did Origin, And I was like, oh, it seems interesting. So I made a player and everything, told Matt about it, and then I told a bunch of the boys that were in the competition, the footy comp with me about it, and got quite a few of them to join as well.
And you just told me to be a fucking prop winger.
well,
A
if
fucking
you
prop winger, man. Why
you
was that
needed a
ever a
prop,
good idea? But why winger as
you needed a
well?
prop. Yeah,
Why
I don't know. You needed a
wingers?
prop.
Prop lock, you son of a. Oh, yeah, no. We'll get onto the opportunities and threats, I'd say, Blair, yeah?
Yeah, all right. So opportunities. They do get to develop their own brand. Uh, it's something distinct, and that's probably going to appeal to a certain number of people. Uh, so there's a bit of an opportunity there. They can leverage the SRL's experience, both good and bad, and get some growth there. And the leadership of the VPRL have all had that top level SRL experience. So that is really their training. These guys know what they're doing, and yeah, with the bridges the SRL have burnt over the past, 3 months now. There is a lot of opportunities for growth via promotion. There are a lot more promotion pathways available than necessarily would have been available to a league that had been born in an environment with a little bit less rancor.
I agree.
The threats, of course, the main one is just staying in Grievance League. If it's just what you want or what you play when you've got the shits at the SRL, I give the VPRL a season and a half, 2 seasons tops. It needs to create its own identity. That identity needs to be its own and distinct from the SRL. Failing to engage its free agency list, I think there's about a dozen on that list currently, if memory serves. That's likely to grow a bit as people filter in. If those people don't stay engaged, then it comes back to what we were talking about before, with that failure, or with that need, I should say, to justify its existence. If they fail to engage that free agency list, they're just going to drift back to the SRL. Not learning from the SRL's mistakes. Again, that ties in. If you have that, if you have the institutional arrogance that the SRL does, then players are just going to be like, well, if it's going to be the same, I might as well just go back to the bigger league. And players not taking it seriously is, of course, a bit of a risk, which sort of ties back into being a bit of a grievance league. Some of the names that we have at the moment are a little bit silly. I do sincerely hope that people do take it a bit more seriously.
I will say part of the reason we do have quite a few silly names is because a lot of people, we're not allowed to use the same name that we have over on the other league. So it's just like my bloody name in SRL, because obviously it has to be separate. Can't technically a silly name, but obviously meaning Chevy being a car, Winchester being the bloody TV show for the car in the show, plus the last name of the characters in the show. Great show, by the way. Watch it. That's my plug. Unpaid, obviously. And then we've.
Oh, you're a Supernatural fan.
I fucking love the show. That's where Chevy Winchester come from.
I don't watch the show, so I never realized.
And that's why I went with Shelby, because I am also a massive Supernatural fan.
He went Shelby because it's another car that can be a name, and bloody there we go. And Daniel had Holden Winchester, but then he hasn't made another player. So
Yeah, no, he did go down that slightly different pathway.
That's it. But yeah, like those are like they're not silly names, but like they're different as well. But then you get some.
Some are a little bit silly. I think it's fair to say.
Like what did I don't know if I said it to you or I said it to bloody Driscoll. I was like, I should change my name to Don T Beacon.
Oh yeah, no, I did say that. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's me to change my name to that.
It's so good. Watch The Boys. It's from that. So good. That's another plug.
I haven't watched the new season yet.
You should. You really should.
will.
We should probably get back to the conversation
Yes.
on Porvo because we are above the hour mark. Surprise, surprise.
Well, that's pretty usual. That does bring us to the end of the slides, though.
So we're pretty much on the home stretch now, eh?
Yeah, absolutely.
Look, speaking as a player that's been, well, I'm in both. I've had my grievances with for SRL in the past. You know, VPRL's new. I'm looking forward to it. I'm keen. Um, every person is their own person. You do what you want to do. My bloody thought process, at least for me, why not have a player in both? That's more footy for you to watch and enjoy. I'm not saying leave the SRL. I'm not saying don't come to the VPRL. Play both. Let's all have some fun. Let's get both leagues running good. But I do sincerely hope that the leaders in the SRL do take this competition as a kick up the arse and become better because of it. But if you be petty, you do all this shit, you will just eventually fail. And being in the SRL for so long, and I was in leadership for so long, and I actually gave a fuck about it, I don't want to see it fail. But at the same time, just I'm not going to go too much into it. Just let's hope everything goes good for everyone, and just we have good viewing experience for everyone involved, especially the players, because we're the ones that we're the what's the word, the viewers.
Yeah, look,
Keep the lights on, really. If they didn't have us, we wouldn't. They wouldn't have a platform.
Exactly.
yeah, it's pretty hard to argue with. If I didn't give a fuck about the SRL, you think I would have spent a couple of hours knocking up slides, showing how I fucked up, and how it can improve. Uh, it's been a part of my life for a few years now, and I do genuinely hope it does well. I certainly hope I am not retaliated against for speaking up about this. That's not something that I have perfect confidence in at this point. That's certainly what I hope. And yeah, I do hope that both leagues still end up succeeding, and more footy's a good thing, right?
I will say though.
Oh, and we have stayed pretty damn neutral, gotta say. So they shouldn't be getting any retaliation, regardless, because we're being pretty fair to both sides here. We're not picking a side.
When has that ever stopped anyone?
I don't know.
Yeah.
I've just got to put that out there. We haven't picked a side. We are just saying both have their cons and their pros. Why not do both? Hopefully both flourish.
I will say, we've obviously mentioned personal grievances that have happened with us while going through the slides, which is fair enough, and that's not me begrudging the SFRL for whatever reason. I'm just stating facts, what happened, all that sort of stuff. That's not me going against them. That's me just throwing that information out there, because that's what we're about. We're a podcast. We're bloody providing information. We ain't this bloody be or end all. We ain't the fucking news, although this feels like it right now. a very like delayed news, but it's fine. Um, but yeah, bottom line, I will say, Blair, if they do retaliate on you in any way, you kind of prove the point in the in the slide.
Well, that's
Um,
true.
yeah, but like, but time will come. Hey, we're here. We're doing this at the end of the day. We're bored. We're having some shits and gigs, and we're just some bros talking about the footy and some tea. Fuck, next time I'm actually gonna bring some tea in here, like kettle and all. Just put on the mic, just the sipping noise.
You do that, I swear to God, I'll come up there and I'll kill you.
Fucking don't threaten me with a good time. But yeah, I think that just about wraps it up. It's been a pleasure. Good to finally get back into it.
It's been a long time coming.
That's it.
It has been. It has been. It's
And
been great being
hopefully,
back in the studio with you two lads.
well, likewise, it'll be good when we get Driscoll back in the studio as well.
Yeah, no, looking forward to chatting some shit with him again as well.
He's always good for it.
Motherfucker said 8 o'clock.
Yeah.
It's 8:40. Didn't even turn up at all.
Fair's fair. He's a man with family.
Yeah,
Yeah,
he was
that's
working.
that's
So
fair enough.
he gets the pass.
I will say, guys, bloody in terms of schedule for the potty, um, we're gonna try and get them out like on a Thursday night. Solid time for it. In terms of when we're recording, it's probably gonna be a Tuesday, so we're likely not gonna have team list. That's gonna suck. Um, we might have team list for our team. Yeah, we'll do that.
Perhaps, but yeah.
It won't be aired until Thursday, so we're okay for that aspect. We'll find out. Anyways, take care and have a good night. Bye bye.